The Tipping Point. Little things can make a big difference. That's this week's 2-minute book review. It is written by none other than Malcolm Gladwell, the author of Blink and the author of Outliers and the author of other things that I haven't yet read, but I've heard they're really good. I'm a big fan of Malcolm Gladwell's. Now, The Tipping Point is one of those books that it talks about like building up steam, and then there's like that one thing that just poof tips the scale, right? Hence tipping point. Kind of like in Mulan, where they say, I don't know if I should put that up there for copyright reasons. I don't know the logistics there. I guess we'll figure it out. A single grain of rice can tip the scale. Anyway, if I decided to find that and put that in there, great. If not, whatever. One of the things this book talks about is something that I'm kind of fond of talking about, but it's really a sore subject, and that's suicide. And it talks about how, like in this country where there was no suicide at all, and then this famous guy, I don't remember if he was a prince or just a rich kid or whatever, killed himself, and then all of a sudden suicide went like, and just spiked crazy. And I think that's part of like what's going on in the world today is we've got all these issues, but they're all publicized. And whether you like it or not, subconsciously, you start to like give yourself an option when it's publicized all the time. You see it all the time, and you're like, oh yeah, so-and-so killed himself. You know, it might not be, you might not sit around and say like, oh, I'm going to kill myself because of so-and-so did. But if you're already in a terrible situation, if it's a taboo subject like 50 years ago where like you would never think about doing it, it's one thing. But it's become almost, I hesitate to say this, almost normalized. It's a subconsciously, it's like an out. It's like when you want to steal something, but you don't. So then you like ask your buddy what his opinion is. And if he approves, then you're like, fuck it, I'm doing it. I don't know. Just check out The Tipping Point. It's a really interesting read. It's got some really crazy, really good references, I guess, stories. Definitely check it out. Subscribe. Links in the bio. Boom.